What's up? This is your host, Non-Fungible TC, Non-Fungible today and Non-Fungible tomorrow. And for those of you who see my daily stream yesterday, you will kind of take the hint that I'm actually quite cautious in this market. Yesterday, I don't think any influencer was talking about on-chain data, but I did cover on-chain data with you, and I told you why I'm quite cautious, really. But if you survived yesterday, right, congratulations, because the S&P 500 closed down 4.3% yesterday, and it is the daily largest decline since June 2020. And so it is the largest decline in 2022, right? So you survived it. And the eighth daily decline of 3% or more this year, right? So if we look at the past numbers, the only years with more than 3+% down days that we've seen in 2022 is 2008, 2009, and 2020. So 2008, 2009, I think that's like the financial crisis numbers. And then 2020, that's like the COVID crash. So yesterday, what happened was that the CPI numbers came hotter than expected by 0.1%, I think, 0.1 to 0.2% higher than expected, then the market tanked. But one thing we have to appreciate, and I've been talking about this for some time, is that you gotta respect the trend, right? Because this is a trend I drew a while back, and I've shown you on the show several times if you've been watching this. And I say it's really amazing how this is the 4 hours Ethereum chart, how it really respects the trend, right? Because at these levels, you'll be like, it won't fall back to the trend. Boom, it goes back here, it falls back to the trend. And then at these level, it goes back to the trend. And at this level, you'll be like, oh, it won't go back to the trend. We're going to have like 1,800 Ethereum. Boom, respect the trend. 1,600 right now. So Ethereum Merge is coming tomorrow. And it is a very bullish event. And I do think that the rally has pretty much, exerted itself. The rally has already happened. Because think about it, right? You have a very big issue right now after the CPI number. Basically, it means that inflation is not controlled. And in such a very big, huge dump environment, what do you think will happen in the ETH merge, right? I think people will be, preserving the capital rather than feeling very bullish. And also, how far can we go up, right? If the market is super bullish, right? Maybe we'll see like a 2,000 in one day. Is that even possible? Or like would that basically pump back up in this level and then goes back down, right? Because right now, if you look at the bigger picture, we are at a downward trend. And I do want to share with you some more news about my thoughts on this. But for those of you, if I will do a stream tomorrow, which I most likely will do, we will be a post-merge environment, right? And I do suggest you to spend some time if you're holding Ethereum, or if you have vested interest in the space, because this is really big, make or break, right? If it's successful, things are good, maybe it pumps a bit, and then the game continues, right? But think about it. If ETH merge fails, okay, if there's missing blocks or whatever, if a developer says one word that say, hey, we have a missing block, something goes wrong, and basically what will happen is that they're most likely gonna stop everything. They might take a snapshot at a certain block and then resume that block in a proof of stake environment, right? That could happen if anything goes wrong. If that happens, right, all of this narrative about, institutions embracing Ethereum because of ESG, environmental friendly thing, is gonna take a big hit, right? Because it seems that the blockchain could be paused, like Solana, right? It could crash as Solana, or it could pause. So there is a possibility that there is a failed merge, or even if it's not a failed merge, there is a possibility that there are risks, which I want to tell you about very shortly. But yeah, I'm ranting in this show because I do want to share with you what I genuinely feel. If you go to randmerge.com, you could go to like a timeline or basically all of the different testnets, okay? For me, so tomorrow there'll be a viewing party here, which is exciting. Hopefully I can see that, but I'll be at work. But if you look at all of this, right, there's a lot of different testnet. And if you watch the different testnet, and if you go back to the time at the different testnet, right, there was a point that where after all of these testnet merge, a developer said, hey, we have missing block, right? Something is not right, right? Basically what happened, if you look at the 5-minute trading time for Ethereum, it tanked the price a little bit. There's a mini dump there. But imagine if the merge does fail tomorrow, it won't be a mini dump, it'll be a huge dump, right? Or it could be a huge pump if it's like, oh, very successful in the beginning, and then developers starts to come in and say, hey, there is missing block, right? So, you do you, but I just want to say that if you're trading this is definitely risky, and it will change things forever, right? It will change the whole narrative of the space. Right now, everyone is bullish, everyone is, in crypto and NFT because there is a blockchain that they could believe in, right? A decentralized digital ledger. But if this ledger has some sort of technical failure, missing data, or whatsoever, do you think institution would put billions of dollars on this chain, right? People will reevaluate whether the narrative is correct. It will evaluate whether this chain is correct, or whether they should invest a huge money into here. Because if you don't see that institutional money, you're not going to see those all-time highs again, right? Those all-time highs were created with a lot of leverage, with a lot of money. So in order to see those all-time high again, you have to see the same thing. So anyways, here's what I think about the merge. Sometimes we forget that the blockchain is a new technology and things could go wrong. Murphy's Law, expect that things could go wrong. I'm not a developer, but I'm thinking that even though if the merge is successful, right? If some DApp bugs or if it glitch after the merge, causing the DApps to pause, it will result in isolated major price dumps, but we'll have to see. Okay, so here's the logic, right? And I don't think this is popular. Nobody really, comments on it, but it is logical. DApps, basically apps that runs on the blockchain, is done by developers, right? If the develop, I'm not sure how it integrates with the merge. Like, do they change a certain code, or do they have to reprogram something in order to make that DApp, like a decentralized finance platform, compatible with a new chain? If they have to do that, and if they forgot about it, or if some sort of bug happened, a lot of these big D apps that we have faith in could experience glitch or bug, not necessarily related to the merge, but the app program itself, and it could cause isolated price dump. So that is definitely something that you could see. Anyways, in terms of inflation, UK inflation rate unexpectedly dips to 9.9 as fuel prices decline, which is actually a good thing. But fuel prices, is there some sort of planning or something like that, right? Because if we look at yesterday's CPI numbers in the US, fuel oil increased by 68.8%, right? So this is a year-over-year increase. So this is quite high. Gas utility, 33%. So this is all energy prices, right? And as we all know, if you see my Twitter, you'll know that the energy price is, being affected by the war between Russia and also Ukraine, right? And also, one of the things that I talked about is that the U.S. Strategic Petroleum Reserve is at all-time low, right? So in the last month, basically the U.S. has been, removing their petroleum reserve and using it in the market, which basically kind of soothing down, like lower the inflation in terms of energy prices. But even doing that wasn't unable to press down the CPI. So it really shows you that, hey, we are in a bigger crisis right now because living expenses is high, groceries is high, right? So definitely not positive, right? 8.3% inflation rates. So we'll see, right? I don't think inflation is being controlled. And all of this interest rate, blah, blah, type of stuff isn't really helping. So expect even more hawkish Feds, right? Because the Feds are now even looking at 100 basis point, which is higher than 75 basis point, and 75 basis point was a huge hike for quite some time. So crypto market, we are at 96 billion. Yesterday it was at 1.07 trillion. So this market changes so fast, huge dump, guys. If you look at stable coins, still dump. Okay, so all the market down. If you look at this sea of red, expected because of the dump. If you look at this crypto market cap, yes, we were rallying 1.067 or 07, boom, dump now at 900. And then if you look at Bitcoin dominance, it was rocketing yesterday and dump as well. So now Ethereum slight uptick for the dominance, right? But if you look at the US Tether, okay, and then if you look at USDs, so uptick, right? So people are moving to stable coin, and this is actually supported if you look at Nansen, right? If you look at what hot tokens or smart money is doing, money is moving to USDC, stick ETH, USDC V2, which is also USDC, and also some ETH, right? So yesterday it was Bitcoin, now it's back to USDC and also USDT. So it really shows you that smart money is now de-risking, okay? And it's important that you read on-chain data. because look at this, guys. If you look at on-chain data, Ethereum exchange reserve, yesterday it was down, right? Within just a day, all of this pumped all the way up, right? So what this shows you is that a lot of people are moving ETH from the wallet to exchanges. So either it could be speculated reasons, they want exchanges to handle the fork token for them, or if anything goes wrong, it's dump time. It's time to go goblin town. So this is a huge thing that you have to see. This is a big, right? This is a 1 month chart. 1 month chart, we're back at previous, exchange highs. And then if you look at this, in the last few days, it is a positive inflow of Ethereum to exchanges. And this is quite big, right? This is kind of telling you that people are trying to de-risk if anything goes wrong. And also people, and sometimes money going, Ethereum going to exchanges doesn't mean it will dump. It could mean that it will pump and people will take profit, and then afterwards there's a delay, and then there is a dump, okay? Because the macro environment is back, winter is coming, people need energy, and energy is gonna be very expensive, and people might not mine more crypto, right? So there's a lot of these macro environment that you have to see. Crypto news, South Korea issued arrest warrant for Terra co-founder Do Kwon, but I think Do Kwon is not in Korea. He's kind of like in Singapore or something. Wagami is dead. So there was a panel at the Seoul conference. People were discussing if NFTs is dead. Andrew said he thinks right now Wagami is dead. And then Maker raises stake Ethereum limit to reduce reliance on USDC. Okay, the DeFi protocol behind DAI announced that it has doubled its step ceiling on the stake ETH. The world's targeted decentralized app. Okay, so they want to reduce reliance on USDC because USDC is to a certain extent centralized, where it could be, they could freeze the funds. So this could also be a reason for stake ETH, money movements. Okay, and Treasury won't punish the listed lab, will allow users to recover fund from Tornado Cash. So the US Treasury knows that people are dusting, people are trolling, sending money from Tornado Cash to a lot of celebrity wallets, and so now they won't punish these wallets and allow them to withdraw funds or something like that, recover funds, right? So a lot of news talking about proof of work, proof of stake. If you are a person with vested interest, definitely go and look at your exchange and see the approach in the merge, whether they're gonna do anything, whether they're gonna support fork tokens or whatever. If you want to get free tokens, and also see whether you could withdraw funds and stuff like that. That would definitely affect. NFT news. Right now, if we really look at this, right? If we look at this, right? This is like a 30 days movement. 30 days movement, boom, downward movement in terms of traders. So everyone is kind of uneasy with the merge coming up. People do not know what to expect, and also the market is quite slow in the NFT space. FG news, soon people will classify NFTs as pre-merge and post-merge, less than 24 hours until the merge. Doodle raised a 54 million at 704 million valuation according to Forbes. Okay, so this is one of the co-founder Reddit led the funding round from his venture. I'm not sure if this is the guy who was part of Proof, and then who left, and also part of Moonbird, and then left Moonbird to sell his fund. But I think it's not the same guy. Okay, Alexis Ohanian. Yeah, I don't think it's the same guy. But I think this was kind of mentioned at New York, like NYC, NFT NYC. Okay. Meme Girls may soon be making a Web3 comeback with recent filings by Paramount Pictures revealing plans to, expand the brands into crypto collectibles. So Paramount Pictures are looking into crypto. And if you watch my videos a few months ago, Paramount Picture was partnering with another exchange to launch their own NFT collectibles as well. I think that was the Star Trek NFTs. Yeah, you can definitely check it out. So OpenSea announced plans to open the platform to more chains, geographies, and verticals. Okay. Magic Eden launched Meta Shield in partnership with NFT Coa Cubes. Okay, so now you can download Moonbird's trades. Nansen introduced the research portal, so you could look at the research report. And also Ubisoft claims that the introduction of NFTs was only for research, so their CEO doubled down, their approach to NFTs. But if you do remember, they kind of had some partnership with Animoca, and I think they have some exposure to Sandbox as well. Shark Tank investor buys 3-digit ENS domain for 36.6 ETH. Okay, so pretty much this news in terms of NFTs. Yeah, I think pretty much. And tech and culture website Gizmodo hates NFTs, but why? So they were kind of having like a narrative article about the Starbucks NFT. So anyways, guys, that's it today. Stay safe. Big day tomorrow. The ETH merge is coming. Let me know if you're bullish or bearish. Comment below. If you like the content, remember to like and subscribe. This is your host, Non-Fungible TC, signing out.